The way, the way, the way, the way. I try to have my mic ready for this, and then I go live, and it's not working. I hate to see it. Oh gosh. I really hope there's nobody in here that's yet. The way. Just the way. Hey! I have no idea if you can hear me because my mic's not working. Yeah, I don't think so. Let me switch my mics. Oh, you can hear me? I don't see how that's possible. Why is my mic saying it's off? Oh, goodness. Okay. Well, let me double check my equipment real quick and I'll tell you what I'm building. So I am the build that's on the screen right now is a house I'm working on for my Fletcher Legacy that I share on Twitter. I'm not actually going to need it for a while, so but I wanted to use it. Okay, that's why it's not showing as on because this is okay. I have no idea why. I guess it must have defaulted to my internal mic. It's okay. It probably should sound the same, but it's like I go live, and the second I go live, I see, okay, why is the light not blue? Why is the light not blue? It's every single time. First, I tried to go live, and my video decided that it didn't feel like working, so I had to restart everything, test the video, then I go on, and the mic's blue. Or not blue. How are you? How are you, though? It could be difficult. It could be the built-in mic that I'm hearing. Yeah, it probably was. That's probably what it is. It should be using the mic I just turned on now, though, but I don't think it will really sound that different. But yeah, how are you? How are you doing? You know, I stay laughing at the TikToks that you post to um to Twitter, which I mean I really should watch them on TikTok, but I'm gonna be honest, I don't know that TikTok is really for me because I don't know, it's like between all the content I already make, it's like I don't know, maybe I'm just that type of person where when it comes to like content, it's like I don't know how to be interesting in a minute or less. That's a gift that I do not possess, but yeah, it's like I don't think I know how to be interesting in a minute or less. So I'm still like as far as like me trying to do like short form content, I feel like I'm still figuring out if that's even something I can do. So now I can hear the other mic you just plugged in. Quality difference, is there a quality difference? Because I'm actually interested. Because I only ever accidentally use the internal mic, and the first time I accidentally used the internal mic, I'm like, it actually doesn't sound bad. It doesn't sound that bad. It could be worse. I'm good, just working on content, been busy, but fun weekend though. That's good. I'm glad you're having fun. Oh shoot, the way I didn't even advertise this on let me go ahead and advertise on the Twitters that I'm live. I'm like, there's something I'm forgetting here. So let me go ahead. And I didn't even turn on my music. The way I didn't turn on my music either. I'm all the way behind. Okay, so let me go in here and advertise this on the Twitter. But now I gotta go grab the link. But yeah, I like posting them to Twitter because the engagement is different and more rewarding, to be honest with you. I've never had much luck with Twitter, but I like it. So did you find as far as um like getting your TikToks to take off. Did they take off and then you posted them to Twitter, or did they okay, where am I going with this? Did they take off and then you posted them to Twitter, or you started posting them to Twitter and then they took off? Because I'm like kind of like intrigued by that whole thing. But I understand what you mean about Twitter engagement. Out of every social media platform I've ever been on, I feel like Twitter has been the best as far as organically finding engagement for your stuff. Which is like, it's good, but it's also like highly upsetting. Like, I hate to frame it that way. It's good, but it's highly upsetting because it's like every other social media's platform is like, I don't know, like it's set up to like work to not reward. Let me reword this the way that I wanted to come out. But first, let me say, hey, I'm live on YouTube, impromptu build with me stream, hang out if you're bored. Okay, so what I'm trying to get at is, I feel like Twitter's really good at rewarding people who put content out there that's like, they genuinely put time, effort, and energy into it for being good, and like it's easy, like the way that it's set up, it's easy to reward people who do that, and it does do that. Whereas every other social media platform, it's like a game. Like I feel like that's the best way to describe it. It's a game. And like whether or not you get rewarded with engagement just depends on how good you are at playing the game, which is not fun. You know what I mean? Let me see what you the quality difference isn't too bad. Built-in mic just had a little bit of echo. That makes sense. That makes sense. I need to upgrade my mic situation, but the mic I have now is definitely better than the mic I had before. What is going on here? I thought the fudge. Let me fix this. I feel like whenever I try and use these things, like I don't ever get it to work right, and then I have weird missing pieces like this. This is me, I'm trying to build a big house because I normally don't build big houses. Like 30 by 20s are normally what I like to build on, but this is a 40 by 30, which is a whole lot. You know what? Forget it. We're just not gonna fix that. We're just not gonna. But yeah, it's been like, I feel like Twitter's been nice as far as finding an audience for your stuff. I feel like Twitter's one of those things that if you work at it long enough, then the whole system will reward you. I really hate cutting this window with this wall, so let's not do that. Yeah, if you work at it long enough, Twitter's one of those places where it will reward you for putting the time and effort in. Whereas, like, it feels like a lot of the other social media places, like, you just stay grinding forever, and it's like whether or not you ever get rewarded for it is like luck. Yeah, the algorithm works in interesting ways. Attention span is interesting on TikTok and what interests people, but I agree with you about TikTok, or about Twitter. Yeah. I mean, to be honest, like I feel like even like, cuz I like what posted one TikTok, which I think that's part of the reason why I stopped trying to or I don't even want to say I tried, because that's like a piss poor try. It's a piss poor try if you're gonna call it trying. But yeah, I feel like I gave up early on trying to like figure out whether or not I want to like try with TikTok, because I'm like, okay, so I test drove TikTok with a short, which I don't remember if I intentionally wanted it to be a short or if I intentionally wanted it to be a TikTok, but I'm pretty sure it went on TikTok first. So I'm like, okay, let me try this out. So then I like made this, what it was an outtake from a current household. Was I even recording for it? I don't even think I was recording for it. I think it was just like a moment I caught from my current household that was funny. So I'm like, let me put this on TikTok and see what it does. So I put it into my video editor and I started editing it. And it was while I was editing it in my editor for this, I think it was like 30 seconds. This 30-second video, I was thinking the whole time, man, this is a whole lot of effort. This is a whole lot of effort for something that's 30 seconds. 30 seconds. And so like, and that's what made me start thinking, and I'm like, well shoot, do I wanna make it a habit to be sitting here and spending all this time on a 30-second video when I could just keep hammering at trying to, make content on YouTube, which I mean, you can content on YouTube, yeah, is time consuming too, but it's like a level of time consuming that I understand. Like I've gotten that down to a science, but it's like, man, this is a whole lot of effort for 30 seconds. And mind you, like, I mean, it's not like it went viral or anything, but as far as like the engagement, as far as like views, it's so like I put that TikTok up, and then what was it? In like 12 hours, the thing had like over 600 views. I'm like, man, I wish this is how it worked on YouTube. And then it's almost like you have to like, I don't know. Sometimes it feels like with YouTube, it's like I'm over here like with blood, sweat, and tears on this thing. you grind for every view for when it comes to YouTube, so it's tough. Twitter is still intimidating. I literally spend most of my Saturday putting together 3 videos for TikTok. Almost felt like doing YouTube videos. See, that's what I mean. And like I can tell you put a whole lot of time. Like I watch your TikToks and I'm like, I know he's sitting at his computer with his editor and working just as hard as I do for these videos I make for YouTube that are like way longer. But it's almost like you have to do that for TikTok, otherwise you're not going to gain a following. But at the same time, it's like 60 minutes or less though, and I'm putting this amount of time. I think for me personally, even though for TikTok, the ability to gain an audience without having to essentially like kill yourself over it, the ability to do that is there's a lot of potential there, right? But like I have to think in the long run about, it's like what audience do I want though? And like I personally, like, you're really funny, and I personally don't think I'm that, maybe I'm selling myself short. I don't think I'm that funny. Or at least I don't think I'm funny enough, or the type of funny meant for TikTok, right? So it's like I could be over here killing myself to be funny enough for TikTok, because like there is a strategy to be like, okay, well, what if I do TikTok insofar as I use it as a way to gain, views. You know what I mean? Let me get out of this. Oh shoot, let me open that. History reopen. Oops. Anyway, it's like, because I've seen people on YouTube say that they gained a following by let me turn on my music, because I'm over here letting myself be the only voice that's on here. But anyway, there are people on YouTube who said that's how they grew their following, by leveraging TikTok. But I don't know, maybe I'm not smart enough to figure out how to do it that way, or I don't know. There's a lot of variables to that, because honestly I feel like there's certain types of content where that works really great to do it that way. And I don't know, out of my way too much time that I spend researching everything when it comes to like growing specifically a Sims YouTube channel, whether that would work for this type of content I make. I should specify that, because I know like you probably know Renee, Hip Renee from Twitter. I know that worked really well for her channel. She was able to grow like really like infuse a whole lot of growth into her channel in a short period of time by leveraging her TikTok. But Renee is also funnier than me, so that makes sense. Thank you. Hi, is it Tanzi or Tanzi? Welcome in. That'll. Wait, I'm missing a whole lot. I feel like 1,000 views on TikTok equals 100 views on YouTube. Yeah, that is a great comparison to that. But then I'll see other creators pointing their phone at the screen and we'll get 10 times more views. I want to do that, but I honestly want quality over quantity, which is why I have low views. I feel like you're doing really well on TikTok, though. Like, I honestly think that you do. Like, your videos are really good. And I understand what you mean about not wanting to sacrifice. Tell me if the music's too loud, also, because it sounds loud in my ear. So let me turn it down a little bit. But yeah, your videos are really, really good. So, like, I understand that whole idea of, like, well, I want to put out a quality product. And I do understand what you mean about people just pointing their screens at, or their phones at their screens. And I think that's mostly because, like, especially when it comes to TikTok, like, because the videos are so short, like, nobody really cares or pays attention to, I mean, it sounds bad to say this, but, like, I honestly feel like that's what's going on there. Because, like, people are really there for, like, quick disposable entertainment. People, like, will give you a pass on the quality at half the time. And I feel like when it comes to YouTube, it's different because it's like, well, that's why I feel like YouTube's hard to crack, because it's like people won't give you a pass on low quality, but then at the same time they want something quick, snappy, catchy, get me in quick. So it's almost like YouTube audiences are both have like time attention spans that are on the same level as TikTok viewers, but then like they also demand more as far as quality. They're like I don't know, it's a lot. There's a lot. Music is good. Thank you. It doesn't sound loud for us. Okay, perfect. I appreciate that. No, for real, your TikToks are really, really, really good. But like, I honestly think, have you noticed though that since you've been posting in the Twitter that you've been getting like more people over on your TikTok though? Because I would think that it'd probably be like good cross promotion, because like I said, people on Twitter are like really, really good about rewarding people who are dedicated to putting the content out there. Like, it may not happen, it won't happen fast on Twitter, so like it takes a while. Like, honestly, like, I feel like the content I've been posting on Twitter, that's specifically for Twitter, like my legacy story, literally just finally started to gain like a level of traction that like feels like, okay, people are actually reading this in like the last month or two, and I've been posting it since August. So if you like just add up the timeline with that, it's like, okay, well then, that's how many months? Oh god, like I'm having to do the math now. For 6 months. So it's like at 6 months of me dedicatedly posting on Twitter that legacy story before it feels like, oh, people are actually reading this now. So like, was that fast? No. But then I also feel like also on Twitter, people tend to reward like visual content work, like care put into that, like way quicker and faster. Or you know what I should say? People put in like they pay attention more to more tangible things. Like if you're like a Twitter creator or a creator on Twitter who makes like custom content, or like you have Sims you put on the gallery, or even like I think even some builds even that are like stuff that people can consume easily and take with them and play with themselves, you can grow a following on Twitter really, really fast that way. I've seen people like absolutely blow up with Twitter followings just from sharing tangible things that people can have. Your Twitter content is great. Is that for me or Nard Villain? Because Nard Villains is good too. Thank you, either way. It shows consistency and great content at the same time. It does. Yeah, I think I'm getting more people over from Twitter to TikTok. I'm getting more followers on Twitter too. Yeah, so first of all, that's good to hear because like that's what I was like hoping for you. I'm like I want because I've been thinking that for the longest. I'm like I wonder if he's actually getting more people to go over to his TikTok from this because like I see him pop up on the timeline. I'm like, oh, these have like a whole lot of views. I hope like he's seeing that translate. So it's good to know that you are seeing the translation there. Let me put lights in here. I can't see what I'm doing. But that's good. But I also noticed the other thing I noticed with Twitter is that like people be very willing to follow you on Twitter if you make content they like, but it's so hard to get that to bridge over. You know what I mean? Like if you make something when you put it on Twitter and people go, "Oh, that's cool. Let me follow this person." Then they'll follow you on Twitter and then they won't follow you anywhere else. It's like super hard, I think, sometimes with Twitter to get your audience to follow you everywhere that you are. Like I feel like that's like the only drawback of Twitter because it's not like that with I feel like that's the nice thing about if you can take off on TikTok and you make YouTube content because what I've seen is that people are very willing to follow you over to YouTube from TikTok. I think it's because the content is, you know, one to one. Oh, this person makes videos on TikTok and they have YouTube, so let me follow them on their YouTube because I like the video content they have on TikTok. Meanwhile, with the other social media platforms, because like the media is not that one to one, like if let's say you have like a huge Instagram following, that means people like to go onto your Instagram and see your photos. But let's say you have a YouTube, it's not always like one to one is saying like, oh, I like this person's pictures, so I'm gonna like watch their video content because sometimes like they're there for the pictures. They're there for that. They're not there for videos. So they may be like, oh, you know, I'll follow them on Twitter. I'll follow them on Instagram, but I won't follow them on YouTube because I don't like to consume video content. You know what I mean? Hey, Tanya. Oh, thank you for stopping by. I feel like I always never stream when you're awake because of the time zone difference. So it's good to see you. Hi, Francisco. Welcome on in. Um, Let me catch up on the chat. Both of you, honestly. Good. Give Nard Villain his flowers. He deserves it. What's the hardest platform for you? I'll answer that in just a second. I definitely think there's a massive disjoint in followings across all platforms, like on the socials I'm active on. I have completely different followings on all of them. I feel that, and I'm going to speak to that. And hi, Covey. Thank you for stopping by. I'm glad you were able to make it. Okay, so going back to your question, what's the hardest platform for me? Right now, my hardest platform that I care about. So right now I have I don't count TikTok as as a platform for me because I have one TikTok and I don't think I'm gonna make any more. So I'm just gonna cross that off the list. So outside of that, the only serious socials that I have for the content I make, which is Sims content, is Twitter, YouTube, and Tumblr. So Tumblr is exclusively at this point just a place where I archive my legacy that I tweet on a schedule on Twitter. And then other than that, the only other thing that it is for me is a place where I reblog CC finds. So I don't promote it at all because of the purpose of it is not really to have a following on there. It's just to have a place that if someone goes, I really like your legacy, where can I read the rest of it? I can say go here, right? So that's how it exists. But it organically has like over 100 followers, which I don't even know what that means as far as Tumblr because I don't know like how that works over there, because I feel like the following on Tumblr is more for you because it's not, or at least I've not been able to see it. It's not publicly viewable. So the only way you know how many Tumblr followers anybody has is if they tell you. So I'm telling you, I have, I think, 120 something followers. All that happened organically by itself, though. I don't promote it. So I don't know what that means, but that's what it is. Anyway, so that happens over there. And then Twitter. So Twitter, Okay, is it the easiest platform for me? I think at this point it is, because I also don't promote my Twitter at all. It's been organically gaining followers in the what year? How long has it been? A year and a half? Maybe a little bit longer than that since I've had it, because it'll be 2 years in June. All the follows on my on Twitter are organic. I just say stuff, or like I like to say, I shit post on Twitter a whole bunch, and then I just started doing my legacy in August there. So it's like, if you like my shit post and you like my legacy, then follow me, I guess. But I don't actually, like, I don't jockey for follows on there. I just really don't. I mean, I think at one point I cared about the follow count on there, but I just don't anymore. I think I stopped caring after I hit 500, because I was all like, you know what? No, that's not true. I think at some point I'm like, you know what? I just really want to see if I could get to 1,000 followers on here. And so I did. I'm like, okay, cool. That's cool. I got to 1,000 followers. And then I stopped caring after that point. So, so I don't actually I don't do anything to promote it or like see, ew, what an ugly floor. But so obviously that's like, YouTube's been my hardest platform, let's be honest. It's been a struggle on YouTube. I'm thankful for every single view I have on YouTube. I'm thankful for all my subscribers on YouTube. But when I tell you that it feels like I've wept actual tears of blood for every single subscriber, that is exactly how it feels. It feels like I really wish, and it's honestly, I think the other part of it, oh, that's such a pretty flooring. Let's go with this. I think that's the other part of it with YouTube with me, because I feel like I work so hard to maintain, or that's not the right word. I work so hard to grow anything on this platform. I like also feel immense pressure to never take breaks, because like I just feel like, and maybe it's like an irrational fear, but I just feel strongly in my heart of hearts that, shoot, if I were to just disappear for a month, that would just be it. Like, my engagement would just completely evaporate and I would just not grow. And like, it's hard for me to like say that's like an irrational fear, because it's like, if I don't post content for like over a week, then my growth like just completely like slows to like nothing. And it's like, it's not to say I don't gain any subscribers when I don't post content. I do, but it's all like, I'll like pick up maybe like 2 or 3 a week versus maybe 5 or 8 a week, which is not even like a huge difference, but it's enough of a difference for me to say, okay, I can never take a break. Okay, I've been talking a whole lot and not paying attention to chat. Let me look and see. Loving the spoons windows. Yeah, they are from Harry. They match this build so well. I actually forced them to work here. You could see that they're clipping, but I couldn't find any other windows that fit here, because the way that this game does not have enough windows and doors in the medium wall height, which is what I'm using here, so I forced them to work. Have you tried Twitch? I will answer that in a second. Oh my god, I feel shitposting on Twitter. That's literally all I do. That's what Twitter's made for. YouTube is hard, but worth it. I get discouraged sometimes. I think YouTube is trying to be better about allowing creators breaks. Yes to all of that. Yes to all of that. But, okay, my mom is calling me. So in just a minute, I'm going to call her back, but I want to finish answering these questions. It is rewarding. I think that a lot of people give up on YouTube because it's hard, and it is hard, but it's like, once you actually like figure it out, like, I feel like it's so rewarding. So it's just like getting over that hump for it to work. You know what I mean? But, here's to me at some point getting over that hump, because I honestly feel like I haven't yet. It's still like me like getting over that hump. You know what I mean? It's hard. YouTube really is such a uphill battle, but definitely the most satisfying, I say, as I've accidentally not posted in December. But you've grown so much, though. Like, when I said that whole thing about like me feeling like I can't take a break because I won't grow. I feel like in the time that you've taken a break, you've grown so much. And I'm like, oh, geez, the way I wish that I could just like disappear for like 3 months and just come back and just like already be like a YouTube partner or some shit. I would love that. I would love it to pieces. It's not been my journey. Not been my journey. YouTube seems to be the hardest community to grow, but is also the most rewarding when it happens. Same with Twitch, I think. If it was easy, everyone would be a YouTuber. It's true. Which, circling back to the have I tried Twitch that Tanzi asked. Yes. And to be completely honest with you, I can't make myself like it. Like, I know that seems weird to say because I feel like a lot of people who have tried YouTube and gave up on it went to Twitch and had like amazing success because it's in a sense like I feel like I feel like YouTube, where am I getting at here? I feel like YouTube, what the thing is that it's hard to kind of get over that hump for it to be like financially rewarding, whereas like Twitch is like what I like to describe as low-hanging fruit. So the reason why I say that is because they put these requirements to get to affiliate that are relatively easy to achieve. You just need 50 followers and then like an average view audience of I think like what is it like 7 I think something like that, and then like you need to stream like 8 hours within a week, which if you really wanted to take the time to spend and do that, you could probably do that, especially if you already have an audience on like other platforms and just, you know, tell them to come over and watch you. You could do that in like less than a week, be affiliate. So I feel like that's highly enticing to a lot of people because they're like, shoot, I'm over here killing myself for YouTube partner and it's so hard and it just feels like it's never going to happen because like y'all, the requirements for YouTube partner is steep. And people don't realize at first how steep it is until they start running the numbers and they're like, damn, that is steep. It's very steep. You need 1,000 subscribers, which to be completely honest, the subscriber requirement is actually the easiest part. If you just leverage, especially if you already have a platform somewhere else, you can leverage your other platform and get 1,000 subscribers easy if you already have a platform. Other than that, like gaining a subscriber base just off of having quality content is actually, and I know that sounds like I'm like downplaying having quality content. It's like you have to work at having quality content. So it's not like easy in that sense, but once you figured out how to produce quality content, attracting subscribers based on just having quality content is relatively easy. It's not easy, it's relatively easy, and relative to the watch time. The watch time is the hard part. 4,000 watch hours is hard. And people don't, I feel like a lot of people don't realize it's hard because they're like, well, you mean, how hard can it be? Like, I already have X amount of views on this video. No, boo-boo. Not 4,000 views, 4,000 watch hours. We're talking about how long people watch your content. And I remember in the first year I was on YouTube, I was like maxing out at like 100 watch hours a month. And so when I was running the numbers, I'm like, well, shit, at this point, I'm never going to hit partner because at 100 watch hours a month, I won't even be at halfway there in a year. So, of course, at my year point, I was not halfway there. I think by a year into YouTube, I hit 1,000 watch hours, which was still a feat because 1,000 watch hours is a lot. Right now, though, like since I've been working at this a whole lot, my watch hours a month has actually more than doubled. So I'm like looking at my watch hours now and I'm like, oh shoot, if I keep at it at this rate, then before the year's over, I'll finally hit partner once I finally clear the 40 subscribers I need to be partner. Because I think right now I'm over halfway there. I've got like 2,500 watch hours, I think. So like if I maintain, which I don't even know, like I feel like well, you know what, I do know. I've been putting when I tell you I bleed tears for this. I've been bleeding tears for this. So it's all like it's been through a whole lot of effort. That's how. So I finally get to a point now where it's like engagement's been better, watch hours have been better. So it's like once you start figuring that out and it starts to like reward you in that way, And I honestly feel like with YouTube partnership, it's more, not only is it more rewarding to become a YouTube partner, it's more financially rewarding. Like the way that Twitch dicks you for pay. But getting back to it, because I didn't answer that question of why I don't like Twitch. So to answer that question, I find Twitch to be overstimulating and it makes me very, very anxious. And I don't know why, because it's like you would think that, oh, well, streaming in general must make you anxious. And that's not it, because I can stream on YouTube and I don't feel the same level of stress as I feel on Twitch, and I don't know why. Like all I can say is that maybe it's just too stimulating for me, but it's like I'm always like I'm very nervous on Twitch, very, very nervous on Twitch, and like I can never feel comfortable, and I feel like if I'm not comfortable when I'm streaming, it's not a fun stream to watch. And because I'm crazy, I rewatch back my YouTube streams to see how watchable they are. Which if you stream on YouTube, or honestly stream it anywhere, I honestly recommend rewatching your streams, because like I feel like people who struggle to find like a streaming audience, part of it may be that they don't realize that they're not being engaging while streaming. And you don't know whether or not you're being engaging unless you watch yourself. So yes, I watch my streams back to see how watchable they are. And I gotta say, compared to my streams on Twitch, which I honestly don't feel are very, I only had like 3 of them, I think, but I don't think any of them were very watchable. You could tell how nervous I was. It just, not a fun time. Not a fun time on the ranch. Okay, let me catch up on chat. If it was easy, everyone, yeah, I read that. Yes, everyone would do it. No shade, but Twitch is way easier to get monetized. Yep, didn't I say? I literally reached affiliate in my first week, and making a living on Twitch is hard, but getting the title affiliate is not. Yeah, and it's hard to make a living on Twitch because they take so much of the money you make, and the only way for you to like survive on being a Twitch affiliate is if you like really like, what's the word I'm looking for? You literally gotta kind of jockey for like bits and like all of that extra stuff that pays you and pays you out better. You gotta stay jockeying for that. I don't want to say it like that. So it makes it sound like people who are on Twitch and like asking for that stuff are like shilling for it. They're not. They're doing what they have to do to like make that like financially viable for them. But it's like I don't like that culture. You know what I mean? It's like, ooh. You know what I mean? It's like, why can't I just get to a point where I'm monetized and it just like pays you fairly for it, instead of me having to beg for all these other venues for this to be viable? And then people say, you know, it gets to be better once you're a partner, but the requirements for partner are steeper on Twitch. And I feel like in the long run, even being a Twitch partner is not really that great. You know what I mean? It just, I don't know. I honestly feel like, because I feel like when I first started doing Sims YouTube, I started with a lot of people. A lot of my first Sims Twitter friends were people who were doing Sims YouTube. Of all those people I started doing, like, I say started because it feels that way, but a lot of the people I started this journey with doing Sims YouTube are not doing Sims YouTube anymore. A lot of them jumped over to Twitch and they stream, and then a lot of them just don't do any content creation anymore. They got burnt out on it, which like I'm not surprised, because like this is hard work. It's very easy to get burnt out on this, so it's not surprising to me a lot of the people I started with burnt out and just like stopped doing it. That's why it's so nice, Tanya, that you're still kind of in it. I know you haven't posted in a while, but like I feel like you were one of the first Sims Twitter friends I made, and like you're still kind of there, so I can appreciate that. I feel like a lot of the other people I started with, they're not doing it anymore. Like I can't think of very many. A lot of my Sims YouTube friends are people who either started before I did now, or they started after I did, like they're newer. So I don't know. It's hard getting those watch hours. Super difficult. It's super difficult. I'm hoping to get there too. I've been doing too many shorts. That's the other thing of why like I'm less inclined to do shorts. You could do like gangbusters for views on YouTube with shorts, but they're like horrible for watch hours, because like you literally would have to get millions of views to get get them to be on the same level, or at least that's what I found. For it to be anywhere close to on par of my regular video watch hours, I would have to get like hundreds of thousands of views, and it's like not realistic. You know what I mean? Ooh, what in the party city? But I don't know. The more I'm looking at it, the more I kind of like this. But yeah, it just ends up being like I have to consider as far as, because like I have a lot going on in my life, so I have to really kind of weigh. I don't like this anymore. I changed my mind. I gotta weigh the time commitment of, okay, well, if I do, spend all this time on a short that's like, on the long run, not even giving me a whole lot of watch time, like, is it worth it? But, I've noticed that vibes are so different between YouTube and Twitch. That's it. Like, that's honestly the reason why I prefer to stream on YouTube, because the vibe is like, because even for me watching other people's streams, like, because I don't even watch other people's streams on Twitch as much as I used to anymore. And that's because, like, there's something super overstimulating about it that, like, I'm a very anxious person. So, like, I have to be really cognizant about, like, not engaging in things that are going to be too stimulating for me. It'll stress me out. So it's like streaming on Twitch was very overstimulating, and like made me super anxious. And like even watching other people's streams, it's like a frenetic energy over there that I can't, it's too much. I don't like it. There are still people I will watch their Twitch streams, and I think it's just because for them the energy that they put down isn't as frenetic. Like, I just watched over the weekend, or maybe that was Friday, Tasha Monet, her stream on Twitch, because she streams since 4 over there, and I like her storytelling. So like if she's streaming at a time where I can watch her, I'll watch her, and like I don't feel that frenetic energy from her streams ever. So like I'll very like easily jump into her streams and be like, yeah, let me watch Tasha. But like for other people, it's like too much going on, and I don't even know what it is, because like when I try and break it down, it's like, is it the chat? Maybe that's the chat's making me anxious. I was like, no, there's like a chat on YouTube though, and that doesn't make me anxious. And it's like, maybe it's all the alerts, maybe it's the when people get raided, maybe it's like all that stuff. And you know what, maybe that is what it is, because it's almost like so it was like an episode of the Muppets, or when someone said the secret word, and then there's all this confetti and jingling, and it's like every single thing on Twitch is like that. And it's like, I don't know how, and maybe I'm just like a different type of person. Maybe it's me. But it's like, I don't know how anybody can take that level of stimulation with everything that happens there all the time. Oh, you got raided. Bells, whistles, everything going all the time. Oh, somebody followed, alert, sounds. Oh, somebody subscribes, alert, sounds. And then you add into that people have like different sound, they have like these little, what are they called? They're like these little like rewards, I guess you can unlock, where people can like make sound effects happen. You add all of that together, and you wonder why I think that whole thing is super overstimulating, and I can't. I cannot do it. Hi, Naja. Hey, loving the build already. Seems realistic. That is what we're going for. How long have you been creating Sims content? I've been creating since June of 2020. That's when I uploaded my first video. So, yeah. Like in 4 months, I'll be at 2 years. So it's been that long. It makes me sad that so many friends have dropped away from content creation. I'm definitely still here, just more lurk than post at the moment. Work is soul destroying, and it's so hard to keep creative. I hear you. Like if I could just quit my job and create all day, I would just do it. Because honestly, like I kind of hate my job, and I do it because I need it to support my family. But it's like not. Like, I had to switch and get a different job during the pandemic because, the pandemic, right? But it's like, at this point, it's not in my zone of genius, and I just do it to pay the bills, and it's just not fun for me. But if you guys will bear with me, I'm going to go ahead and I've got to call my mom back because I kind of been dipping and dodging out of her calls today. So I'm going to call her back, and then let me put the be right back screen. I'm gonna leave the music playing, but I should be back in like probably not even 10 minutes. I'm gonna try and keep the convo short. I'll tell my mom that in the middle of something, but hang tight, I'll be right back. we're back. Sorry, my mom was just checking in. That's what happens when you're too busy. Then you. No, I'm the level of busy these days that I just don't even wanna. I don't wanna like entertain anybody when I'm on my weekends because I'm like I just want to do what I want to do and then forget the rest of the world. But yeah, she called, so I had to stop dipping her calls for a minute. She's talking to my son now, so when he might come up onto the on the video feed in a minute because I gave him the phone and told him to give it to me when he's done. So that is what's going on. I hope you guys, did something good in like what, the almost 10 minutes I was out. But we're gonna try and finish this house. Well, you know what? No. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just put, and I'm not completely sold on this tile, but we're just gonna leave it for now. I just want to get the walls up and the appliances up so that it's move-in ready. And then after that, I want to hop into my not so berry save and finish redesigning the wedding venue for my Rose generation because I need to get her married. So we're gonna be using the vanilla wedding. So I had originally planned to have the wedding be with the pack, and y'all saw the state of the pack. So I'm like, we're not gonna use this pack anymore. It's not happening. Because the way that weddings are already frustrating, or they can be. I've gotten my weddings down to a science, so they're not really frustrating anymore. Because I manage them just enough that I don't have a headache, right? But, you finished talking?
Yeah.
He hung up?
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks. But I have it so that they're just, frustrating enough, or not frustrating enough that I can handle it, right? So we're gonna go ahead and do it with the vanilla way that I already know. Because I was just telling somebody on Twitter this. I'm like, I'd rather deal with the devil I know right now than the devil, you know what, I don't like this for up here. Maybe I'll put a different wallpapers in the bedrooms and just put that wallpaper in the common areas. That makes sense. But anyway, I'd rather deal with the devil that I know when it comes to these weddings than to have to like learn a new way to deal with the new devil, which is the pack. So what we're gonna do is, and I need to redo because I'm thinking here, which I don't know, I might floor plan this because I was thinking, oh, this could be a living room, but the messed up thing that I always forget, because I think this is as big as, in the case you guys don't know, because I don't even think I said, this is actually a house that I'm working on to move my Legacy Sims, Cameron, Fletcher, and Andrea into eventually. It's not going to be for a while in the Legacy, so, I mean, it kind of is a spoiler, but also it's not. It's also not. The, where was I going with this? Oh shoot, I lost my train of thought. What is going on here? I lost my train of thought of what I was saying. I don't know. All I know is that, oh, I remember now. I was gonna make this a living room area, but the mistake I made with my Legacy Sims house that they live in right now is I made the living room area too small, so you can't do anything in it. That's part of the reason why they weren't able to have Winterfest there. Because I'm like, where is there even gonna be a tree? So like, if I close this back off, this is about the same size. Maybe it's a little bit bigger, but it's about the same size as the living room they have right now. And I'm like, I don't want this to be their living room again, and for them to have not have room to entertain. So they might have like a weird long living room then, because if I extend this out, hold on, if I extend this out, is this like a weird long living room? This feels like it's like a weird long living room. I don't know. I don't know if I like this. And if I did this, then wouldn't I have to like then do this? Hold on, I'm testing this out. So I do that. I'm just like, the dilemma I'm having here is that I have no idea if I make this the living room, how to even set this up. Wait, hold on. Let me move this out. It's like a weird long living room. Wait, hold on. What if I... Okay, hold on. Let me figure something else out. Because I'm... don't ever get me to floor plan anything. I'm really bad at like I can never figure it out. That's the one thing I'm super jealous of builders for. They can just like throw together these like really interesting like floor plans, and I'm over here like struggle busting making weird long rooms that don't make any sense. Oh gosh, Carl made a post saying he has fixes for the new game pack. I saw that and I'm grateful to him for it. I my apprehensions about it is not that like the fixes that he made seem like they're gonna fix a whole lot of the weird issues with my wedding stories that doesn't work, like the fact that like they don't do the things that you direct them to do. That's problematic. But um my apprehensions to like play with it for a wedding I need for my not so very is the fact that I don't want I just don't where am I getting at here? I don't want to have to deal with issues that make it less of an interesting event, which I feel like a lot of the wedding prompts from my wedding stories make the wedding unfortunately like less interesting. So like you know what I mean? Like it feels like I don't, and I said this when they did the live stream because y'all like maybe you don't know, but I live tweeted during the live stream, and the whole time it was me like freaking out, thinking, y'all, this doesn't work. Y'all, the weddings is still buggy. Y'all, she just told this bride to do something and she didn't do it. And then right as I was tweeting that, I started looking at them like, y'all, why is she telling these people to like do everything? Why is she telling everybody to just do everything? Why aren't any of these people doing the things that are supposed to happen in this wedding themselves? And I got worried. And apparently it was a good thing I did get worried, because it turns out I was right. Everything in that wedding's automated, or not automated. Everything in that wedding is manual. And as soon as that was very clear, I was instantly upset about it, because I'm all like, well, like, what type of crap is that? Like, I don't want to have to tell them to do everything. Why can't they just, like, why can't I just set the flower pal, set the ring bearer, set the sim of honor, set all those things, and then when I click the wedding arch, it just goes. Why couldn't it just do that? Because the way that the weddings work in the base game is you click the arch and you say get married, and they do all the things, and then they get married. So like, whose idea was it to do it this way? And there's like been some speculation that maybe it's because the way that Sims 4 AI is set up, like they couldn't have them do all those things and have it work with it just being automated, which is, it just begs the question, then why do this at all? Because who wants to do it this way? Like, I swear, I'm so serious, I have yet to see a single person in this community say that this is exactly how I wanted weddings to go all along, for me to just click and for them to do everything I tell them as I tell them to do it. That's how I wanted weddings all along. Yep, this is for me. I've not seen it. Everybody's looking at this and thinking, why isn't this automated? And it just makes me like really frustrated, because it's all like, they do these types of things all the time. It's like you would think that the people, like, it just makes it so clear to me that they just like don't understand their audience. It's all like, y'all really just don't know what we want. You really just don't. Okay, I was trying to give them a dining room, but I don't think it's gonna happen. Oh man, I kind of wanted them to have like a formal dining. Unless we could just, hold on, maybe I could put like a formal dining table in this. Nah, that's not gonna work. The way that would not work. That would not work. Or maybe, no. Or maybe, no. This is, oh man, I kind of wanted to give them a formal dining area and then give them an office, because now it feels like they might get less stuff than they had in the last house. We'll think about it. I'm so bad at I'm so bad at floor plans. If it's not a box, I can't make it work. Yeah. So, real facts, Tanya, my Rose Gen house literally is just a box. And it's hard to tell it's a box because it's got fancy roof manipulations to it. See, like, I feel like I'm a specialist at making houses that are literally just boxes look like they're not like just boxes. But After I made that house and didn't even realize till after I finished building it, like, you just made a box. I'm like, okay, well, the next house can't just be a box. You gotta actually work harder than this. So the next house, which is the yellow gen house, which I'll show you guys in just a second, is not just a box. It's way too big, and it's not just a house. I think I'll come back to this, to be completely honest with you, because I'm looking at this and like I'm still thinking I want to re-floor plan the bottom floor, which I know I'm gonna regret that shit. I know I'm gonna regret that shit. I'm gonna re-floor plan and I'm gonna immediately think, man, I like the way it looked before. We'll do that later. Are you getting the new pack at launch? Undecided. Undecided. I'm gonna be honest. Before Carl released his fix for, or his, released those fixes for it, the answer would have been no, ma'am. For why? Why would I get a buggy pack on launch? And I'm honestly like super annoyed at the community because it's all like, y'all just never gonna let us be able to like demand that these people give us what we deserve. Cause they're like, y'all, can we all just collectively say we're not gonna get this pack, please? Because it doesn't work. Everyone's all like, yeah, it doesn't work, but that world though. And I'm all like, no, it doesn't work. Can we all just, agree to not get this pack? And they're all like, yeah, it doesn't work. But Bill Buy though, it's like, no, can we all commit to not getting this pack, please? And they're all like, yeah, it doesn't work. Kaz though, and I'm like, I give up. I'm done. I give up. Y'all want to buy this buggy broken pack, and then you want to be confused when they don't ever fix shit and they don't ever give you the shit that you want, because you're telling them that, yes, abuse me, EA, and I'll still pay you. And they're like, heard loud and clear, heard, and then they want to be confused when we don't get the shit that we need. They want to be confused. Kind of looks like the game pack is catered towards machinima makers. That's what I said. I said, if you make machinimas or you storytell, like you do like screenshots and make stories like I do, that game pack is perfect because you tell them what to do and they do it, and snap, 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 there's your story. But if you do any type of gameplay where you want like chance occurrences to happen, like me, because like honestly, like, yes, I set stuff up for my Fletcher Legacy, but best believe I also do still play in that save as playing that game. Like, I am in live mode in that Fletcher Legacy save. I am quite a lot. I'm in live mode in that save right now, to be honest with you, because I have to wait till it gets to New Year's in that save. So I'm like, guess we're playing. Guess we get to play. Honestly, I like it when I get to a point in the story where I can just play, because a girl loves to play. But I'm getting off track. What I'm getting at here is, if you play the game like I do, whether it's a let's play or just on my own, I play the game, then it doesn't give. It does not give. Let's see. Oof. I'm like, okay, what if there will be autonomous talking and stuff like that? But yeah, I agree. I wish it was all automatic. Please. Feels like the only autonomy in that pack is annoying shit that nobody asked for. Like the autonomy of your guests, like literally sitting at your wedding and talking loudly through it. Like every single time I saw somebody's early access footage and their entire guest list was sitting in them pews talking loudly through the ceremony. I'm like, nope. Couldn't be me. Couldn't be me. You ruined the wedding I put on. And you guys, the way that I do the most for my weddings, do you know how livid I would be if I spent, because normally, because I drag my feet on weddings, normally I will be planning the same wedding, setting stuff up for it for months. So you mean to tell me, after I picked out all the right dresses, dropped in the perfect venue from the gallery, you mean to tell me after all that, after I set everything up the way exactly how I wanted to, you talk through my ceremony? Like, I don't know if y'all watched my mid-gen for Not So Berry, but I was already livid at that wedding that Glade and Nora exchanged their vows, and I'm trying to get to the main menu. They exchanged their vows. I already saved, right? You're making me nervous about this. They exchanged their vows, and then I turn out to the audience. Everybody's sick, coughing with the vid, looking sad and miserable. I'm like, okay. All right. Nothing went right in that wedding too. Like the way that nothing went right, the DJ left before they even got to the dance. Then I had Glade go out onto the dance floor to have his first dance with Nora, and Nora was having, she had the worst case of morning sickness and was just throwing up all over the place. She was so sick. What else went wrong? They fed each other cake in the bathroom. That was nice. That was cute. You know, I'm kidding. It wasn't cute. And then what else happened? Oh yeah, then after all that, because I ended up just having, I had to teleport Nora to Glade to get them to dance together because they just refused to slow dance. So I did that. But before I even had to just be like, let me just do that. Oh yeah, this is the Red Gen house. This is just, you know what? I'll show you this in just a second because I told you guys that it's just a box. But before I had them slow dance together, because I forced that interaction, I was desperately trying for his entire party guests to dance on the dance floor, and everybody refused to dance. It literally was one of the worst weddings ever. I don't think it was the worst not so berry event I ever did though. I'm pretty sure that that honor goes to Sienna's prom. The way, like, honestly, you watch the episode back of the prom episode and it doesn't look as bad as it actually was because I edited it. Like, I edited all the mess out, obviously. But if you guys had been there for it uncut, you would have been, like, I was so over it by the end of that thing. Nothing worked. Nobody showed up. It was, like, the worst. But clearly you could see Tanya. This is a box. You see how this is a box? This is a box. This is a square. I mean, it's slightly not a square because this slight bump out here, but essentially it's a square. I could have pulled this out and it would have just been a square. It would have just been a square. But if you see it from the front, it doesn't look like it's just a box because I did all this like cute like maneuvering of the roof and this. It's like a fancy box. Everybody, like, you know, Simsy always wants to talk about like how you just make your house like a bunch of fancy boxes put together. No. I just did a straight up fancy box. It's just a box. It's just a square. Let me catch up on this. Agreed, Kobe. The new animations are perfect for screenshots and cinemakers, but not good for gameplay at all. And I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I don't even like the new dance animation. I think the slow dancing animation that they put in the game pack is not intimate enough. It looks very somebody said like drunk, like dancing with your drunk uncle your wedding. It does give that a little bit. It gives that a little bit. But yeah, I wish it was more intimate. It doesn't look cute. Like, I honestly probably am gonna keep my slow dancing mod in my game because, like, real talk, I mean, the animation's not like all the way together because it's a mod, but does it look more intimate than what we are getting in this game pack? Yes, it does. Yes, it does. You can't tell me different. It does. Let me see. The thing that annoys me the most is the fact that people treat EA like this tiny little startup company rather than the multi-billion-dollar company. Yes! And it's honestly, like, I don't talk about it on Twitter because I just don't, like, I'm not that level of invested to, like, harp on it. And, like, I want to, like, not be annoyed. So I talk. There's no point, is what I'm getting at. There's no point in me talking about it because it's like, the people who need to hear the message aren't listening. So it's like, what am I talking about? I'm not gonna talk about this. So there's that, but it's frustrating because, like, obviously, guys, the devs are people. So is it kind to like attack them and call them out of their names? Of course not. Don't do that. Like, that's stupid. Plus, if your whole end game here is for the devs to listen to your pleas, then I don't know, maybe it makes a little bit of sense to not insult them before you ask them for things. That's just basic common sense at that point. It's got nothing to do about my personal feelings about any of them. However, to me, it's very interesting how the gurus were real quick to get on the Twitter to talk about, be nice to us, guys, we're human beings and we don't appreciate the treatment. And I was like, okay, but also your game's broken. So can we talk about that? Because honestly, that's really the only part that I care about. So because like honestly, because I thought about this a lot yesterday after like people were like disseminating them having that conversation about you need to treat us with respect and like human beings. Yes, obviously, but your game is broken. And so like it's broken at the point where when like Carl puts out these fixes to fix the most broken of your packs, it has me looking at you crazy like, are you not embarrassed? Because if this was my like, look, I'm not a game developer, but I would assume that if you're a game developer, this is your craft. Like I was like really thinking about that analogy here, and I'm like, this would be if me, someone who considers their craft to be writing, right, put out like a piece of shit book, right, that like was so incomprehensible that it was hard to follow, but it was clear that there was like a story that was supposed to be there, right? But and people liked the story enough that they read it, but were frustrated by the fact that it makes no sense, right? So then like a fan of the whatever I wrote said, you know what guys, I got you. I'm gonna take this book and make it more readable for all of us, because that's what we deserve, right? And then they took my book and they re-edited it by like pulling out all the plot holes, taking out all the non sequiturs, all the stuff that is dead end stuff that didn't make any sense. And let's say that I also was sloppy and there was a bunch of typos and grammatical mistakes in there, right? All that, they fixed it, tied up all those loose ends, tied it together, put it back out there. So it's fixed, guys. You can read it better now. If somebody did that with my work, that's my craft that I'm supposed to take pride in because that's what I'm supposed to be good at, I would be embarrassed. I like, wow, I put out like such a steaming, like unpolished piece of shit that at least people liked it enough that they bought it. But like this person went in there and fixed all the fucked up shit that I didn't like make it a priority to make sure it was good before I gave it to them. Wow, I'm embarrassed. I can't believe I put it out there like that. And so like this is the level of shame that I feel like is missing from your dev team. Y'all are literally like shamelessly putting this shit out and you're not even embarrassed about it. But you're over here crying about, I mean, I hate to say it like that because I'm not trying to shame. It's frustrating. That's where I'm at. I'm at a place of frustration. So that's why I'm phrasing it a little bit meanly like this. Like, I don't mean to be mean, but at the same time, it's like you're over here crying about how you want respect. But most of your fan base at this point just wants a game that works. And you give us no transparency on whether you're going to give that to us. And it's what we deserve. That's literally the only thing I ask for. I don't care about them personally. I don't know them like that. I don't, at this point, care to know them like that. We're not friends. You are a company, we work for a company, you put out a product that I consume. That's our relationship. And it's like, right now, you're not even following through on what the relationship's supposed to be. So, you know, that's where we're at. Let me catch up on the chat. I've been thinking that the community wants to be fed content, but at this point you might be asking for scraps. The community will clap and salivate over the stalest of crumbs. It's so frustrating because like as much as this community can be so good, this community is like one of the biggest like communities where it's like they're their own worst enemies. It's so frustrating. And so like all you guys have to do is not settle for moldy crumbs and demand that, like, you see how they act when you actually put your money where your mouth is and say, I'm not going to get this unless you give me this. People said, I'm not going to buy the pack unless Russia can get it. And enough people said it to the point where they made it a point to make sure that Russia got it too. They did. People said, I'm not going to buy Batu because this is not what I asked for. And you know it hurt their pocketbooks. Because they put that shit on 50% off the next month. You really think if people didn't stick to their guns and say, I'm not going to get my wedding stories until it works, I'm not buying it on launch, you really don't think that they wouldn't drop that price down to try and meet whatever sales goals they're looking for if enough people don't buy it on launch? They would. Which would be great for us, because if the whole point is that you just don't want to buy it on full price, then yes, please, don't buy anything on launch, please. Because, you know, the people really are out in the streets are saying, you know what, it's broken, but I want stuff. So, but then those same people will complain that it doesn't work. Or like no, they'll complain. Those same people who will buy broken buggy packs that they know are broken and buggy on launch will complain that shit doesn't work in the game. That stuff that's been broken for months is not gonna fix. It's like, girl, what do you think? You really think they're gonna make this a priority if you are telling them that it's not a priority to you as a consumer for stuff to work when you buy it? Of course not. And at this point, they just don't make time for it in their production schedule. That's what the conclusion I've come to. There's no way that they do, because however their production schedule is set up is to the point where there's just not enough time to address all the bugs. So they probably have like the laundry list is probably a real laundry list for them, from a long list of stuff that's existed since launch that they probably still will not ever get to. Oh my gosh, how are we getting into this bedroom? Oh no. I'm gonna have to fix this. Because if I put a door there, will a sim get there? Oh no. I'm gonna have to fix that. I'm gonna have to fix that. But it's like, the stuff that does get fixed, and I said this on Twitter because people are like, this isn't making sense how, Carl can fix this in like an afternoon, and the dev team that gets paid a salary to do this is not doing it. And it's like, well, it starts to make a whole lot of sense when you consider two things. One, Carl is not an employee of EA being paid a salary to develop this game. He's a modder. He literally can take as much time as he wants to make fixes for this game, because he's not on anybody's timeline but his own. Like, dedicate like 100% dedicate hours to fixing everything, because he can. Meanwhile, EA or Max or whoever is the one driving the ship over there set this like weird production schedule where they're constantly in content creation mode. And when you're constantly churning for more content, that leaves no time to actually address the bugs that are on your list. So half the time when we do get bug fixes, and that's what I said on Twitter, it's like, y'all don't notice that half the time when we get stuff that's been broken for a while fixed is because it's connected to a feature in a pack that they're about to release. Case in point, before we got Cottage Living, the food spoil timers had been broken for over a year. And I know it had been broken for over a year because I remember when it broke. And I'm all like, and I was freaking out because I'm all like, do I have like a broken custom food item in my game that's causing this? Took all my mods out, went back in the game, spoil counter was broken. And I feel like I was the only person who noticed it, because like I feel like I watched a bunch of people's Let's Plays where people were talking about how they still had excuse me, they still had food in their fridge from like ever ago. It's still good. And I'm like, yeah, because the food, the spoil counter is broken. Nothing spoils anymore. You could just cook stuff and have your Sims eat it like 3 seasons later and it'll still be good. Nothing spoils anymore. So that was broken for over a year. And the only reason why it got fixed was because they needed it to work for the Simple Living lot trait. Because what would be the point of that whole Simple Living lot trait if nothing spoiled? So they finally fixed it. But let's say that they didn't decide to have that feature. Let's say that they never did. That thing will probably still be broken today. Still. So the best you can hope for at this point is that something broken that you want fixed is going to be connected to a new feature, because that's the best way to ensure that shit gets fixed. Otherwise, you're going to get these little things that they run into when they're building other stuff that they decide to just fix while they're there, but they never are going to take dedicated time to be like, okay, this has been broken forever. Can we go fix it? No, they're not. They don't do it. They don't work that way. They just don't. It shouldn't be standard at all. Nope. That roofing though, we love a fancy box. Yes. The way that roof took me forever too. I re-roofed that thing like 3 months. And I remember feeling like so dumb about it too, because I'm all like, this is literally a box. Why am I having to re-roof this like 3 different times? It was a mess. Let's see. Develop a decent game and maybe you wouldn't have angry fans tagging to social media. Right? It's all like, you want people to be nicer to you. Do you really? Okay, let me tell you what you need to do. Fix the game. I'm so serious. You will have no complaints if you just fix the bugs. I don't know. I was just talking to Oak the other day, privately. I was telling him I was just voicing my frustrations about the community. Or not even the community. I was voicing my frustrations about the game. I said, like, Sims 4 is literally like the first game I've ever played where it just makes you hate it the longer you play. Because it just, with everything that doesn't work anymore, or like doesn't work as intended, you get so frustrated and you just slowly begin to hate the game. I said, this is the first game that just makes you slowly hate it over time. And I'm a Kingdom Hearts fan. And if you're a Kingdom Hearts fan, you understand why I say that. Because as a Kingdom Hearts fan, you understand being mad forever. But you know what? As long as they make you wait for this shit for Kingdom Hearts, the one thing I can never say about Square Enix, the one thing I can never say about Square Enix is that they don't typically release shit that's buggy and broken and unplayable. They make you wait forever. They'll delay a bitch real quick if it's not good. Like, that's another thing they're good for. If something's not right when they say that it's going to come out, which they really need to stop giving release dates. They really need to stop doing that. But if it's not right on the date that they say it's going to set, they're real quick to push it back. What, Kingdom Hearts 3 was pushed back how many times? Like, I can't even tell. At least 3 times. What was that? The prequel for that, 2.8? That was pushed back at least twice. They're real quick to push something back with it. See, I can appreciate that. Is it frustrating from a consumer standpoint if you're excited for something? Yes. But that also tells me as a consumer of your product that, okay, they pushed this back, meaning that it's not ready yet, meaning that when it does release, it's going to be good, like I wanted. So you end up being, you like, I end up giving them all types of slack for it. I'd be like, okay, fine, do it, girl. Delay that shit, because I want this shit to work when it comes out. And hey, nothing comes out flawlessly out of any game company anymore. But the way that at least the bugs are minimal at that point, you know what I mean? I'm just saying. I remember when the team released New Crest, a literal empty world, and players acted as if this was the greatest thing since sliced bread. I wasn't in the community when that happened. I honestly feel like I would have been madder if I was. The way that the state of the game was released in was a travesty, a literal travesty. The way, like, I'm surprised anybody paid $80 for that, like, limited edition version or whatnot, where you got 2 worlds and like literal children that aged up into ooh, no, we're not doing that color. Little children that aged up into, or infants that aged up into children, no pools, like, no top, like, it could not have been me. Like, guys, it's literally a map, just White Bull Creek. It's frustrating that the game has such a big community, but is so buggy. You would think that people behind it would care more. Yeah, I think the conversation is good video content. Oh, it should be, but the way I don't have time this time of year to release in-depth content. That's the reason why, like, when I do like my Let's Plays Over series, I like release one of those a year, because I just, the way I don't have enough hours in the day, I wish I did. I wish I did. There's a lot of videos I wish I could release right now that I just don't have time for. And Square announced the game. You can guarantee it'll come out 5 years later. For real? Yes, it's true. And the funny thing is, it'll come out 5 years later, but the way it'll come out and you'll be able to play it and have fun, you know what I mean? It will come out and you'll be like, the way I waited forever for this, but the way that this is actually, the way that this was worth the wait. You know what I mean? Meanwhile, at this point, EA pushed the release back to this pack by like a week almost, right? Watch it not even be worth the wait. Watch it still be buggy and broken. Watch it be still unplayable. Because everybody's all like, you guys, it's fine. They pushed it back so they could fix it. It's like, are we looking at the same footage of everybody's pre-release content and that live stream? Do you really believe, as broken as this game pack is, do you really believe in, was it 6 days? Because it's like not quite a week, because it was supposed to release on Thursday. So you really honestly believe that in 6 days they'll be able to fix all that shit and have it work as intended? I mean, I wish I had that level of optimism. I don't. That is not my level of optimism at all. But people are really out there saying that on Twitter, like, oh no, you guys, it's okay, because they have 6 more days to make this good. It's going to be great. I was like, y'all have to be desperate for this to not be broken. You have to be. Because otherwise, how can you honestly believe that? You really believe that it's not going to be broken? Where is my, I'm looking for a very specific wall here, not finding it. No. Wait, hold on. Is this kind of yellow? I feel like this is kind of yellow. We might use that. We'll go with that. Ooh. And this is the kitchen. Okay, wait, no. This is the kitchen. This is the dining area. What's this then? Something. Well, then why did I make the kitchen that yellow? No, we're not having the kitchen be that yellow. Everywhere else could be, though. I had the limited edition version. I've never been more angry. You deserve a refund. You deserve a refund. Because the way it could not have been me to have really shown up and seen two worlds. Which, I'm going to be honest, I don't think I realized this till, like, recently. But, like, Oasis Springs and... No, I think it's just Oasis Springs. Has a lot of lots. I'm all like, there's 20 lots in Oasis Springs? How did I not know this before? But does that make up for the fact that y'all got a colorless map and two worlds and no pools and babies that age up into children? Does it make up for that? No, it sure doesn't. It really does not. It's just too much. Okay, so I think what? So I'm not sold on this yellow at all. Why am I not finding the wall I want? I was supposed to go ahead and set the vetting. You know what? I might actually abandon this for right now because I feel like I only have 10 more minutes I can stream for because I gotta hop on and do, oh god, I'm not late. Am I? I promised Miss Monty I would moderate for her Twitter space, which is supposed to take place at 6 p.m. Central Time. I'm in Eastern Time, which means that's 7 p.m. my time, and it's gonna be 7 in 10 minutes. Okay, I want to believe that I'm not late, so we're just gonna believe that I am not late. I'll do that in a minute. Ugh, this yellow. We'll fix it later. But before I leave this, because this is gonna be little Zarine's house. If you guys watch my Not So Berry or have caught any of it, this is gonna be my Yellow Gen's house, which I made stupidly big. And after I made it stupidly big, I instantly regretted it because I didn't feel like furnishing it. And you see how I half-assed put floors down and half-assed put walls on one area. And I'm looking at this, I'm thinking, where's the... Okay, this is the front. Okay, this is the front. Which, I like this lot for being big, but boy does it have, like, the worst lighting. Because I'm over here turning this around. This is, like, the best lighting I can get for this lot. This is not terrible. But it's like, it's not great. This lot just doesn't have good lighting on it. It just doesn't. And, like, I know people, that's the trick of people who do speed builds, and they have their screenshots have good lighting. They might build on a lot, but then they'll move the house to a lot that has better lighting, and then they'll take the screenshots. So if you ever do a speed build on YouTube, always do that. When I was toying around with doing speed builds, which I don't have time for at all anymore, I did not do that. And so most of my thumbnails for my speed builds look like shit. All but one, which is the one that doesn't have a bad thumbnail. The lighting is like shockingly good on that lot. And I made the thumbnail, highlight it, and like it has like over 200 views, which for my build videos is really, really good because none of them have that many. I'm like, I don't think I realized it had that many views till like recently somebody commented on it. So then I looked at it, I'm like, where the fuck did all these views come from? Pardon my language. I'm so glad I was able to catch your stream. Oh, I'm glad you are too. Like, half the time I stream at weird times. I'm like, it's hard for my UK friends to come to them because I know that they're all about to go to sleep right now. Okay, let me get out of here. I do need to finish this because Zari's gonna move here soon. But I decided to put in the storyline that he's gonna buy this unfinished anyway. So the last thing I'm probably gonna do is put the rocket here, and I'm gonna make like a makeshift barn in this corner. And then I don't even know how I'm landscaping this. I kind of just don't want to, but I know I have to, but I just don't feel like it right now. So we're just not going to do that. So let's hop over. I'm going to show you guys Sienna's wedding venue before I end stream, but let's see. Also no ghosts. Oh yeah, it did also have no ghosts. That's crazy. That's insane. So as you can already see, I redid Strangerville. I replaced a bunch of these houses. because the way Strangerville, I don't think I replaced this house. You know what? I probably did because townies lived here. I know it sounds bad for me to say that, but somehow I'm less inclined to fix houses where there are townies living. Why are there this many people living in this small house? I'll fix this later. Um, so I am really stuck on what to do for my yellow jet because Zari is gonna finish. Well, he did finish uni. I finished his uni over the weekend. This weekend, he finished uni. This is the wedding venue. I still need to fix it. But he finished uni with straight A's, which means he's gonna start in the astronaut career like really high. So I'm thinking what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just demote him back to level 5 because I've actually never played this. I've never played the astronaut career. So I'm like, I kind of want to play it. Real talk, I never played the politician career either. But I've seen other people play the politician career and it just didn't seem interesting to me, so I didn't care that Sienna skipped ahead. I played the parts of her generation that were fun to play, which was the dating around, the will they won't they's of her relationships. That's fun to watch. I honestly don't think it's fun to watch people grind skills, which is why if you've ever watched my Not So Berries, you don't really see me grind skills ever because I just don't do it on camera. It's boring. Okay, so this is the venue. So I laid like this arch down and these 2 trees, but I gotta redo this whole thing because the way this is ugly. So there used to be a pool here. I deleted it so I could make this area the wedding part because I couldn't find the beach wedding venue I was wanting to have. I'm like, it needs to look expensive kind of, and the way I always get, you can see what I stream. But I couldn't find a beach wedding venue that looked expensive, and you know, Sienna's materialistic, and I'm all like, all these wedding venues are like rustic looking. I think that's the best way for me to describe it. They're like rustic looking. And I'm like, she would never get married here, but she would get married on the beach though. But she would never get married on a beach and have it look like extra, like homemade. I don't know. I feel like when people make beach wedding venues, they always make them look very on the beach. And it's like, I need for it to look fancier than this. But like, I could really only find fancy beach venues that were A, too small, and 2, filled with custom content. And I don't want to download builds anymore that have a bunch of custom content anymore because my mods folder is already too big. And like, if I add to it, it needs to be stuff that I vet. And I don't want to just like put shit in there just because it came with a build. Okay, so my idea for this is to put like a platform here. So we're gonna move this out of the way. There, and there. And then what we're gonna do in the 5 minutes I have left is we're gonna make this platform, because once I have the platform down, I will have the vision for this wedding all figured out. So where's the platform? There. Wrong angle. Storytelling is better than grinding. I think so, but sometimes I feel like in these YouTube streets, I might be the only person who actually thinks that, because the way that I feel like some people just like to watch people, they just like to watch people grind out skill. It's the reason why I don't like to watch, I would never do it, and I don't like to watch people do rags to riches, because it's literally just grinding to like survive, and it's like, that's so boring. Like, I don't want to watch you dig up like a bunch of time castles for like 20 minutes and fish for 20 minutes. Like, how is that interesting? So boring. So clearly, because I find it so boring, I personally just don't do it, because I only do stuff that I would want to watch, right? And if I don't want to watch it, ooh, the way that I put that in backwards. If I don't want to watch it, then like, I can't expect that anybody else will want to watch it. I feel like that's the thing that people kind of just don't realize when it comes to their YouTube content creation. Like, you really do need to think about, okay, if it wasn't me making this, would I want to watch this? And I feel like a lot of people kind of end up settling and be like, well, it's good enough. And it's all like, no, boo-boo. Don't do something that's good. And know what just happened here? Okay, I forgot to copy. I gotta copy, not move. It's like, don't do something that's just good enough. Like when people are new, when you're new, you like don't have the like you just don't have the great, like people won't give you that grace. Like if your stuff's just good enough when you're just starting out, then people will just like not give you a chance. Which it sounds bad, but it's like that's just how people are, and they honestly just don't owe it to you either. They don't owe it to you to give you a chance. Why can't I make this smaller than this? The way that they just made the whole thing go away. Oh, I clearly stink at this. You see why I tend to just stream my storytelling? I'm good at that. This I'm not good at. Likewise, don't be late. Oh, you're right. Y'all, I gotta go. We almost got the wedding venue done because Narbil, and you're coming to Miss Monty's thing, right? So then we both can't be late. We both can't be late. Why can't I make this work? Well, I'm gonna have to fix this later. I wish this lot was bigger in the back because I kind of was like envisioning like a long thing for this, but it's not given what it's supposed to have gave, but we're gonna have to end things here, you guys. This is just like a real quick cute let's build with me because content has been unfortunately light as I've been busy. During tax season I'm always busy because I work 2 jobs and thus 12-hour days, and that's the reason why you guys have only been getting minimal, like at most one video a week these days. So I still have to finish the video I'm releasing next week. I still need to do that. So fingers crossed that your girl actually sits down and does that before Sunday is over. But other than that, y'all, it's been cute, it's been grand, it's been a good old time. We love to see it. I gotta go because it's about to be 7 o'clock in 1 minute, and I do need to go to Miss Monty's Twitter space. It may not be as relevant to everybody who's in my chat right now because it's for working. Well, you know what? Even if it's specifically for working moms, but I think it might also be relevant to if you work and trying to do content creation at the same time, because the way it's difficult to juggle all of that, it's even harder when you're a parent. Just ask me, a parent who does content creation and all this stuff. But it's 7 o'clock now, so I gotta go. It's been cute, it's been cool. Thank you for hanging out with me. I appreciate y'all. I'll see you in the next live. I will definitely make sure to post it early on Twitter next time when I go live. But other than that, bye y'all, love you. And hi Precious, I'm sorry you came in on the end, but please do watch the replay. We had a good old time here. I appreciate you. Also, don't forget to like the stream, and if you're new to the stream and you are new in my audience, please do hit subscribe if you want to see more. But until next time, guys, bye bye, love y'all.